I'm actually quite excited about the Streetlights project because of what it means. Okay, the latent informational value of streetlights. Uh, to me, as I'm in the thick of it, in the thick of the research, is very clear. It's very clear for me that a streetlight in the future will hold far more value, far more informational value than lighting value. Okay, and it does have the potential of becoming one of the largest information and data platforms globally, especially if we're able to standardize the architectures, okay, and make accessible the development platforms for applications built on basically data gather at that density. That is very, very exciting. What's most exciting about it is that I have no idea how it's going to end. That's what's most exciting. If we really think about an urban system, what you really, really want is to have the community take it over and adopt it and mold it to their own likeness and interest. So then it's a combination of actually, I'm going to put the platform in place and I'm going to put the tools for development in place, right? And now let's see what you come out with. Here are some examples of things you can do with it, right? Here's parking. Here's traffic monitoring to create better parking signaling, better traffic signaling, right? Here's air quality and environmental monitoring, right? Just to get people more conscious about the quality, the air they breathe. But what do you want to do? And what's really striking when you start thinking about this in terms of platforms is that society will run in circles around you. They're going to come out with creative stuff that it wasn't even in your radar. So that's one thing I'm very excited about. It's going to be a very challenging process. Cities are slowly learning to digest what this means. And in my conversations with cities and many of the key players, industrial players, that to me is very evident. Now, when it gets really, really tricky, is that if you think about from an urbanist perspective, most of these platforms are actually put in place by institutions that to a certain extent mirror the platform, mirror the infrastructure, right? So the street lights, they're usually managed and operated and purchased by the Department of Public Works or the city electrician. And they've been doing that for decades. But when you start speaking with them in terms of information and data and applications that typically fall outside of their jurisdiction, then it's a very tricky conversation to have. So if we want to see these systems in the ground, it's actually not just inventing the object or not just about creating ABC applications and demonstrating its value, but we actually have to contextualize on how do we need to reframe the urban institutional system. How do we need to reframe the different stakeholders to participate, to maximize that infrastructure?